Well, good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Grumman Pilot's YouTube channel. And today we're going to be talking about the Appalachian Trail. It runs 2,100 something miles. You can do it in 5 to 7 months. This is a story about the little 50-mile hike that we made back in 1970 when the Yankee was hot. So stay tuned for some fun. We would like to ask you please subscribe, hit the like button, and hit the notify to stay current with our content. So it was in August of 1970, and the Boy Scouts from Troop 327 were going to take a hike, and we were going to go to the Appalachian Trail. It was going to be a 50-mile plus hike. We were going to do it in 5 days. We had quite some adventures along the way, including a rattlesnake. We also bumped into some Girl Scouts, as you'll see later on. The rattlesnake was about 4 feet long. That's me holding it. I do have the rattles to this day. They're still mounted on the plaque that came from a kit project that was making a pottery. But anyway, as you can see, 12 or 13 rattles and the birth button. So those are the rattles that are still around today. And then you can take your time and hit pause and read the rest of the article. The rattlesnake is mentioned in there. And I will say it was an interesting hike. It was a lot of fun. The scenery is incredible. A lot of bears, a lot of blackberries, a lot of fun time. It was like walking in air conditioning all day long. So we started off by parking one vehicle down by the Fontana River, just below the Fontana Dam, and then we took everything up 50-something miles to another spot, and then we hiked back down. That way we had a vehicle when we got to the end of the road. Now, it wasn't without its imperfections. We did have a flat tire one day. You know, it happens to the best of us, and you just change it out with the spare. Now, here we are the first night. We arrived late. We threw up our tarps. We went to bed because the next morning we were going to start the hike. And then right where we were camping, there's the river right down along a little road. So it was a very nice scenic time, and we had a lot of fun. Now, as I said, we had a flat tire, and nothing big going on there. But as you can see here, when you get to the Fontana Dam, there's a lot of places to park. We're getting ready to fix dinner, getting ready. We even had a first aid call for Robbie Howard right there. But anyway, parking again at the Fontana Dam, getting the lay of the land. And then here we are basically back home with our truck of luggage at the church. But here we are loading it, unloading it in the middle of the night. And of course, at the dam was a snack bar with ice cream and snacks, and that was just great. But it was a lot of fun. It was a good hike. Again, it was in August of 1970. Now, along the way, you'll have ranger cabins. There were the odd museum along the way, and there were the overnight stations where you could had bear caging in front so you could keep the bears out. Even putting your packs in the trees wasn't necessarily a safe bet because they would shake the trees, and sometimes if they could reach them, they would pull them down and shred them. But as you can see from the article, there was one. Now, there's the Fontana Dam and the reservoir behind it. Another shot of me and the snake. But as we were hiking along, we took breaks. We climbed trees. We got water from the streams alongside the trail. It's a very nice hike, ladies and gentlemen. If you ever get a chance to do it, it is a beautiful thing to do. Now, in the summertime, again, because of the elevation, it does change. So walking uphill is easier than walking downhill because of the braking you have to apply. But it's a good time for all. You will get rained on along the way, so be sure you bring all the appropriate gear. Don't have to worry too much about a whole lot. We carried freeze-dried foods. They were just a big coming up rage in those days. Some of them weren't so bad, but we had one night where it was some bean mix that nobody really liked, and when we took it away from the camp and dumped it by a tree, a bear came along, and the bear wouldn't even eat it. And so here we are in one of the little lean-tos they have along the Appalachian Trail. Notice the bear guarding, but most of the time this is what our camp looked like in the woods right off the trail. And then here's a wide section of the trail. It does go up, it does go down, and there are overlooks where everybody stops and looks in one direction. You take breaks, you rest your feet, you usually don't take your packs off, and here we were by a big rock. And as one thing that you'll see, a bear will come into camp and will take anything it can find. Here we are filling our water at one of the well springs. And as I mentioned, we were hiking along and we came across 12 Girl Scouts going in the opposite direction we were in. So we spent the night. They got the cabin, we got outside, and it was nice having a sing-along and having a good time for a break. Both coming into the park and leaving the park, there were a number of times there were bears on the side of the road, and everybody wants to walk up and get a picture with the bear. Not the smartest thing to do. Here's one of the placards that are out there. But again, ladies and gentlemen, the Boy Scouts were a lot of fun back in the day. I was leaving being a boy and getting ready. When we got back from this hike, I was going to begin my junior year of high school. I already had one college course under my belt. So here's the BSA patches that we all earned. It's Follow the Rugged Road. You'll notice that one of us was wearing this t-shirt for Indian Village Camp. It was along with Camp Salmon in St. Tammany Parish. It was all part of the Keystone District in New Orleans. And again, Camp Salmon, the New Orleans Area Boy Scout Association. Great place to grow up. Now, again, as you might have remembered in the story, those are the rattlesnake buttons that we still have. And I'm going to have to go ahead and shellac that plaque and do something with it. But anyway, Rattlesnake still lives on with his rattle. And of course, by walking the 50 miles, we won the Boy Scout 50 Miler A Foot Afloat Award. You can sew it onto your pack. I never bothered to do that. And then the other things I have from the New Orleans area is I have a broken Camp Salmon mug. I have a coin somewhere. I also have an Indian Village mug that has never suffered any abuse. But anyway, these are just leftovers from like the late 1960s, early 1970s. And there's the logo on the mug. So we hope you found this summer of 1970 useful and informative. Thanks so much for watching, and have a great day flying your Grumman.